Mr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you for having me. It's good?
Okay.
At the Urban League of Palm Beach County, we really practice the audit prevention. And prevention is where we have spent most of our details because to keep our young people out of the system, that goes 110% towards our goal. What we see in programs such as SINSPINS, which is Children Needed Services, Families Needed Services, where we work with behavioral issues with kids that are not participating properly in the education system, on the verge of dropping out, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. And our classic example, not to stereotype our families that we work with, but I'm talking about a single parent mother with 2 or 3 kids, and that oldest kid is that young man who's 14, 15 years old, who's not really participating at any level, but getting ready to go in the wrong direction. So that's what we spend the majority of our time. How do we keep that young man or young lady on the right path? How do we keep them in school? And one way that we found is to put a strong male figure, case manager, with them. Because for the most part, it's the only male figure they have in that household. And I have really worked hard to make sure that we find those young men who are willing to work in the community, work at the grassroots level, to work with our young people, because we've lost an entire generation, at least one generation so far, of young black males. And I think personally we're going to the second generation right now.
If I can start with what I would call my closing argument. The most important thing I can tell you today about the school prison pipeline issue is that those of you sitting in the audience are really the solution to the problem. We're going to provide you with a lot of examples of things that are working, communities that have actually changed and reduced the flow of kids from schools to the juvenile justice system and to the adult criminal justice system. But ultimately, that's a lot of information, a lot of websites and that kind of stuff. But if you are unable to find a way to act on it, then the changes won't really occur in your community. And that's really what we're focused on. When I applied for the job that I have as administrator of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Local Prevention, they required us to provide copies of every newspaper article we ever been quoted in. And I went back and looked at an article that I've been quoted in 1992, which was one of my early school prison pipeline cases. I had a young man who was being suspended from school and barred from graduation, which would have prevented him from going to college because he was college bound for possessing marijuana in school, an amount sufficient so it was called possession with intent to deliver, which is a felony in Pennsylvania. We litigated the matter in court. We won the matter in court. I won't go into the details. Then I had to go litigate it in school. And in school, they were still going to suspend him and expel him. I was able to find a way to keep him in school by focusing on the merits of his experiences, and so we avoided that. I know it was in the newspaper because my client, against the advice of counsel, decided that he was going to tell the whole world about it. And it was on the front page of the newspaper. He was barred from going to the prom, but people sent us money to donate for him to the prom. That's how that all worked around. So that's an example of where I started in 1992. Basics. It's important that you understand that progress is being made on the juvenile side that you don't hear a lot about. The number of arrests are down substantially on the juvenile side. Crime on the juvenile side is down, has been going down for 20 years. The number of kids who are incarcerated or in out-of-home placement has been reduced in half from 2000 to 2013, from 109,000, just one data slice in this process, to 54,000. So 109,000, 54,000. I need you to understand that because it gives the context. The price of out-of-home placement is sky high in juvenile justice. In New York, Connecticut, $260,000 a year per child. In other states, over $100,000. So the price is helping us and then driving this number down. I need you to understand a couple more things, and then I'll kind of go back and say I'll cover these things in greater detail as we go through the conversation. One, kids are different, as was already pointed out. We know this because the science tells us that. The science is very strong. National Academy of Sciences put out a report reforming juvenile justice. We spent over $1 million